Okay, welcome to the channel. Project 356. This is a shell that's going to go into an outlaw, so we're going to take you around it and then explain what we're going to do. Glorious weather for it today. Okay, lovely countryside. Right, okay, so what we've got here, it's a 356 original shell, built in 1960 in Germany, shipped off to the US, then back to the Netherlands and now in the UK. So the shell itself is was used as a donor, and it's been used for all sorts of things. It's in pretty good condition, surface rust in the bottom, but it's going to be an outlaw, so it's going to be stripped out. New panels, as you can see, there's bits and pieces cut away. The whole front section needs to be rebuilt, so I'm in a quandary as to whether I actually go with an all steel front end. Steel panels are available. Cost a small fortune, mind you, and getting them aligned and painted, etc. It's a pretty big project. I might do a flip front on this, so jury's out, so we'll see. Anyway, reason why it's moving today is after much discussion, it's going to have custom suspension. So 356s have their front beam is integral into the actual monocoque chassis, unlike say a similar cousin like VW Beetle. The beam, which has a torsion beam, so it has the arms with the suspension and hubs on, so come out there. On a Beetle it's bolt-on. On a 356 it's integral. You could modify it and put on a different frame head. You can see there's a frame head there almost that provides some structure. We're missing obviously the battery box, the inner wings, outer wings, front balance, bonnet, quite a few bits and pieces are missing, so all those have to go on, but it gives a great starting point. We can obviously see where there's a bits of repair work that are done over time and need to be all tidied up. Then after this side, we've obviously got I've got the doors for this, but we're going to do custom latches and custom handles, possibly even shave them, so still jury's out on some of the ideas. Yeah, as you can see, the interior, it's a left-hand drive original, have the pedals for it. Got a custom steering column that I'll tell you about later. Steering wheel, typical sort of period Momo wheel, or race wheel rather. And then round to the back, the beautiful curves on the rear quarters, you can see that just silhouetted there, so that's what I'm trying to keep. I'll do it bumperless, fill in all the old holes. We'll do the single vent for the engine. Could be 1776, could be something a bit hotter with a 911 fan. I would consider doing an EV conversion, but I'm in two minds. Battery costs versus range, it's still not quite economical yet for something like this. Anyway, so this is going up to a company called Eva Resto up in Cannock near Birmingham, UK, and they're going to do for me the custom front suspension, so we can reuse the original beam and keep the shell as original as possible. And then to the rear, we're going to go custom swing arms in here, and we're going to try and get a swing axle VW Beetle gearbox in. The original 356 gearbox is a different shape than the tunnel, etc. to the gear shifter is in a slightly different position, so we've got a few bits and pieces to figure out how we're going to do that. I thought I had the gear shifter somewhere, maybe I have. I'll have to double check. Anyway, right, Friday that's a custom gear shifter. Right, so there's that needs to be fitted. As I say, swing axle rear, so it's actually going to be a VW Beetle gearbox, so they're all custom mounts and adjustable swing axles, rear suspension. That will let me put a Beetle engine, Beetle gearbox. I'll get a high range fourth for highway driving on that, otherwise you'll be shifting out the gears really quick and it'll wind down the motorways. Also, we're going to do air suspension on this one as well, so this will allow me to raise and lower the vehicle potentially while you're driving along as well. So that's the plan. The reason for doing the suspension first is because that's a lot of engineering on the shell, potentially, if the gearbox doesn't fit. So I don't want to go to body and paint and get it all done and then hack it all up. Equally, we want to check everything's as straight as we can get for a car of this era. A lot of it was a little bit handmade originally, so we'll make sure that the shell's all straight first, and then after it's had the suspension, this should come back here to my glorious storage place in the country. It will then come back on wheels, so it'll be a rolling shell when we come back. I have some wheels that I'll show you later. They're Porsche Porsche brakes on the front, possibly, so we'll go with Porsche discs on the front. Not original 356. The cost of 356 bits is ridiculous these days, so we're going with a combination of motor racing parts and hot VW bits and pieces where we can. So I'll tell you more about each one of those little steps as we go. I'm on the hunt for bits and pieces, so I'll probably do glass and window seals. I've got the window frames, but might do plexiglass in them with little vents, like sort of rally style. I've got seats, trim, interior. I might sound dead in it just for the necessity, but it's not going to be a luxurious concourse winning interior. It's going to be a sort of fast road race car. Anyway, that's what we've got. I will share with you more videos as we go. Love your feedback, love your interest. Don't forget to like and subscribe.